Okay, ever wonder what happens when really deep military heritage meets cutting-edge tech, especially in the world of precision instruments?
It's a fascinating mix, isn't it?
It really is, and that's exactly the intersection we're diving into today. We're looking at two new Panerai submersible watches, the Marina Militare editions.
The PAM01697 and the PAM01698.
Exactly. And these, well, they aren't just watches, are they? They're robust, military-inspired timepieces.
Absolutely. Tools, really, with roots deep in developing near for the Italian Navy's elite underwater commandos.
Incredible history there.
Yeah, and so our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack the specifics of these instruments. We want to understand their connection, which is actually pretty interesting, to the Aviazione Navale.
The Naval Aviation Division, right.
That's the one. And highlight the details, the surprising details sometimes that make them stand out.
And we're pulling this all from a pretty detailed review of these models, yeah. Give you the key insights.
Exactly, getting right to the heart of it.
Okay, let's unpack this. So Panerai's history with the Marina Militare, it's almost legendary in the watch world.
It really is foundational for the brand.
We're talking partnership going back to the early 20th century. How does that original purpose, designing for commandos, still echo in these watches today?
Well, that's a great question because it's truly their DNA. What's fascinating here is that the whole legacy started with a very specific need.
Right.
Developing precision instruments, tools for the Italian Navy's underwater commandos. It wasn't about luxury back then.
It was about function, survival even.
Exactly, mission success.
Yeah.
And that core utility, that function-first thinking, it absolutely underpins these new models, even as the submersible line itself is, evolved.
It started under Luminor in '98.
That's right. Part of Luminor then became its own distinct collection from 2019 onwards. But that thread, that purpose, it's still there.
It feels really authentic, that heritage claim, not just marketing speak. And speaking of expanding on that heritage, what I found really interesting is these aren't just about the underwater teams anymore. You mentioned the Aviazione Navale.
Mm-hmm.
Why the shift or the addition of naval aviation? What does that bring to a dive watch concept?
Well, this raises an important question, doesn't it? What does it mean for a dive watch, fundamentally rooted in underwater ops, to draw inspiration from naval aviation?
Yeah.
For Panerai, it's a significant expansion of that military legacy. It means introducing something totally new for them, the Aviazione Navale wings emblem.
Ah, okay. Where do we see that?
It's engraved right on the casebacks of both these new models. It's Panerai acknowledging that, precision, toughness, they're just as crucial in the cockpit at Mach 1 as they are 300 meters down.
Right, recognizing the pilots operating in these other extreme environments.
Exactly. The demands are different, but just as intense.
So you have this blend of history, underwater heritage, and now this aviation tribute. Mm-hmm. How does it all come together in the watches themselves?
There are two distinct models, right? Correct. Two paths, but maybe one mission ethos.
Okay, tell us about the first one, the PAM01697.
So the PAM01697, this is your, let's say, classic robust option. It's got a 44mm case made from brushed 316L stainless steel, good solid feel.
And the bezel.
Unidirectional rotating bezel, crucial for diving, with a really nice green matte ceramic insert. Very durable, scratch resistant.
And the caseback has the wings emblem we talked about.
Yep, screw-down caseback featuring those Aviazione Navale wings. It's secured with a standard, sturdy, stainless steel pin buckle.
Price point on that one?
That one comes in at EUR 12,100, a serious tool watch with that refined military look.
Okay, and then there's its sibling, the PAM01698. This is the one that really caught my eye because of the material Carbotech.
Yes,
Hear carbon fiber a lot, but what makes Panerai's Carbotech special?
Right, so here's where it gets really interesting from a materials perspective.
Yeah.
The PAM01698 uses Carbotech, and this isn't just off-the-shelf carbon fiber.
It's proprietary.
Exactly. Developed by Panerai. The key properties. It's lighter than titanium, lighter even than ceramic.
Wow.
Which makes a huge difference on the wrist, especially for a 44mm watch. Plus, it's incredibly resistant to corrosion and external shocks and forces, perfect for tough environments.
How do they actually make it?
It's pretty cool, actually. They take thin sheets of carbon fiber, layer them up, and then compress them at high temperature with a special polymer called PEEK.
PEEK.
polyethylene ether ketone. Think of it as a sort of high-tech, super strong binding agent that holds the carbon layers together under pressure.
And that gives it a unique look.
It does. Because of how those layers are compressed and then machined, each Carbotech case ends up with a unique, slightly wavy grain or texture. It means no two watches are exactly alike.
That's a fantastic detail. Like a fingerprint.
Kinda, yeah. And for the 1698, the caseback is DLC-coated titanium.
Diamond-like carbon.
Right. Super hard, scratch-resistant, gives it that stealthy, dark finish. And the buckle is DLC-coated titanium, too, to match.
Price on the Carbotech.
This one's EUR 18,900, reflecting that advanced material.
Makes sense. And a critical spec for any submersible.
Yeah.
Water resistance. Are they the same?
They are. And this is crucial, really speaks to their core purpose. Both models are rated for 300 meters of water resistance.
Which is already very capable.
Absolutely. But here's the kicker, the professional grade detail. Panerai actually tests each watch to 25% beyond that rated depth.
Seriously.
Yep. It aligns with their standards for proper professional diving instruments, ensures they perform when it counts.
Okay, so beyond the case materials, the design language itself seems very intentional. You mentioned shared cues from naval aircrew gear.
Definitely. You see it clearly in the dials.
Right, that green-grained matte finish that's got a subtle black gradient fade, too.
Yeah, it really evokes the tones you might find in, say, flight gear or maybe helmet finishes.
Yeah.
It's tactical, but also quite sophisticated.
And the legibility. Looked like they've thought about that, too.
Oh, absolutely. Readability is paramount, whether you're deep underwater or in a dark cockpit. So the applied hour markers, the indices, they're significantly enlarged.
Bigger surface area.
Exactly. More room for the Superluminova. And they're using a tactical gray, Superluminova, Grade X2 specifically.
Grade X2, what does that mean?
It basically signifies top-tier luminosity. It's incredibly bright, and it lasts a long time in the dark. Really enhances readability in low light or murky water.
Connecting back to the mission needs.
Precisely. It's all about optimal visibility under demanding conditions.
And there's that small second subdial at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, designed to subtly evoke a radar screen, which is a neat touch.
And I see a tiny engraving in there, too.
Good spot. That's the Aviazione Navale's anchor insignia, another nod to the naval aviation link. And then right there at 6 o'clock.
The Marina Militare signature. No mistaking the roots there.
Direct link right on the dial, ties it all back to Panerai's military origins.
What are the straps they come with?
They've thought about practicality there, too. The primary strap is a tough green canvas with tone-on-tone stitching, really gives it that military textile vibe.
Feels very appropriate.
It does. But knowing these are tool watches, they also include an additional black rubber strap.
Ah, perfect for actual diving or just getting wet.
Exactly. Gives you options depending on what you're doing. It emphasizes that tool watch character.
Okay, so we've covered the outside. History, materials, design cues, aviation link. Let's get under the hood. The movement inside both watches.
Right, the engine. Both are powered by the Panerai caliber P900. It's an automatic movement.
Okay, now give us the context on the P900A. Is it fully in-house Panerai?
So here's a key insight, and it tells you something about how the big watch groups work. While it carries the Panerai name, the P900 is actually manufactured by Valfleury.
Valfleury, Richemont Group's movement facility.
Exactly. Richemont owns Panerai, Cartier, IWC, Baume & Mercier, and others. Valfleury develops and produces movements shared across several of these brands. The P900 actually shares its base architecture with movements like Cartier's 1847 MC, some of IWC's 32000 series, and Baume & Mercier's Baumatic.
Interesting. So it's a shared platform, essentially.
It is. And what that means operationally within Richemont is they can leverage central R&D for reliable, efficient movements, allowing brands like Panerai to maybe focus more on their unique case designs, materials like Carbotech, and their specific brand identity.
That makes sense from a business perspective. Does it compromise the watch?
Not necessarily. These shared movements are generally well-regarded, reliable workhorses. And for Panerai, it allows them to offer an automatic with good specs in a watch that's maybe more focused on the external toughness and design language.
And you mentioned it's quite compact, despite the watches looking pretty beefy.
Absolutely. The P900 measures just 28 millimeters across and only 4.2 millimeters thick. That slimness is actually key to keeping the overall watch profile relatively manageable, even at 44 millimeter diameter.
Okay, so what does this P900 mean for you, the wearer, in terms of performance?
Well, it runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour. That's 4 hertz. Pretty standard modern beat rate, helps with accuracy. gives you a smooth seconds hand sweep.
Power reserve.
It uses a single barrel, but delivers a solid 3-day power reserve. So you can take it off Friday evening, and it should still be running Monday morning.
Convenient. Any other features?
Yep. It has a stop seconds mechanism, or hacking seconds, means the second hand stops when you pull the crown out, so you can set the time precisely. Essential for any mission-oriented or professional use.
On toughness.
It incorporates an Incablock anti-shock system that provides better protection for the balance wheel assembly against bumps and jolts, which definitely fits the whole robust, ready-for-anything theme of these watches.
Okay, so wrapping things up. It's pretty clear these aren't just fashion pieces.
Not at all.
They are serious, professional-grade dive instruments. They carry that heavy weight of military history, but they're also pushing forward with advanced materials like Carbotech.
Yeah, what really stands out to me is how they weave together that deep history in military precision with genuinely modern innovation.
Celebrating both the sea and the sky elements of the Italian Navy now.
Exactly. Through the design, the materials, the engineering, it shows how a brand can respect its past while still innovating. It's a really interesting balance.
They're definitely not inexpensive watches, we should say. EUR 12,100 for the steel, EUR 18,900 for the Carbotech. So quite an investment.
True, accessibility isn't the primary focus here.
But you can't deny these Aviazione Navale models have, well, some real flair, that blend of military utility and high-end watchmaking.
They absolutely do. They make a statement.
So a final thought to leave our listeners with.
Yeah, maybe something to think about. Considering how specialized gear like these Panerai submersibles is designed so meticulously for extreme environments, thinking about precision, durability, function above all else, what could we maybe learn from that philosophy? What could we apply to the everyday objects we rely on?
Function first design in our daily lives.
Yeah. Just something to mull over next time you pick up a tool, or even just your phone or your keys. How well is it truly designed for its purpose?